Hey guys, what's up from Roll, Minnesota, your state of skate? Hey, I'm Butch Lehman, and today is a rare follow-up video. We don't do these very often on Rolling Reactions, but last week we watched some profiles of Chris Haffey, and I just remembered this section where he was out at Skatefactory, and there was a list of tricks written on the box, and he just went straight down the list, other pro skaters, and just landed them one after another after another. It was insane. This clip, I think, has been lying dormant for a long time, and I was able to find it. Now I need to bring you guys the follow-up because this is insane. It's destruction unlike unlike anything that I've ever seen. I can't even talk. It's mind-boggling. And to top it all off, Chris finishes off with a trick of his own that is pretty intimidating. Anyway, you guys are going to want to stick around and check this one out because this is why Chris Haffey is considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest rollerbladers of all time. Let's check it out.
We're in Germany.
All right, so we're going over to Germany. Skatefactory in Essen.
We're at, what's the skate park called?
He doesn't even know where he is.
Skatefactory. And I noticed here that Brent, Dominic, Wagner, Billy O'Neill, Aragon, they had a little battle here.
Some really good company.
All the tricks that they did. So I'm gonna have a game by myself. I'm gonna try to do every single one of these tricks and then do one trick better than all of them.
I don't know if anybody's told Haffey, but that's not how a game of Blade typically works. But he's just going to go through every one of the tricks. If you guys ask me personally, I think this would actually be one of the most difficult ones for me. 270 back torque. I couldn't hold that down that ledge. He just writes, did it, exclamation point. Gotta let people know that Haffey was here. I mean, that one was flawless. He even reverted out. I like, too, how he has this whole spectating crowd just watching him destroy everybody's tricks. What does he got on tap for trick 3?
The next one's full cab true fish. I don't know how quite sure I've ever done that trick in my life. Never done it.
Well, gotta start somewhere. Full true fish. It's funny, too, because when Haffey comes back up, he's, like, concerned. Does it count? I didn't grab it.
First time ever, right? That was the first time. I didn't grab it, but that's good enough for me.
That counts. That definitely counts. Check it off the list, move on to the next one.
That's not really tricks. Alright, next up we got the Prince. Now you know he's always coming with some dumb shit.
Brian Aragon.
He hit the fakie 450 hurricane topsoil. Again, a trick I've never done in my life.
Now, just for context, this is actually before Brian Aragon did the fakie 450 hurricane topsoil in Game Theory. And so I'm wondering if this is like a precursor to that, because clearly he's done it on the box, and now he's like taking it over to the rail. And this is a pretty large, intimidating box, and watch how quickly Haffey's able to get this. It doesn't make sense. It's like video game.
This one, it's gonna be hard to do, so it's gonna take me a second.
He says it's gonna be hard, but I'll let you be the judge. First attempt. Just the most casual hurricane topsoil for a warm-up.
That's warm-up, baby. That's warm-up. Get that shit.
2006. God, this was 14 years ago. Could you imagine, like, skating on this level over a decade ago? This dude is the truth. How? That was ridiculous. That's not even the last trick on the list. He's still got a couple more that he's going to put down here for us. He's got to ask for verification. Does that count? And yeah, he might have briefly slapped his hand on the box, but I count that. That totally counts.
So figure 450 back rail, so switch 540 rewind out on the handrail. So,
honestly, that one would probably be the easiest one for me. I like the full cab spins and tricks. Making it look way too easy. Let's check that one off the list. He's done them all. Signs his name. I hope somebody kept this piece of masonite. This would be like the perfect plaque for the wall, like perfect rollerblading keepsake. It's got autographs from all the big names, maybe not all the big names, but a bunch of the big names of rollerblading, and just documenting history. The 270 out. He did that so clean. Man. What a night. This video really is a gem that's lying out there in rollerblading culture. Now he's got to add his trick to the list. Even though I don't think anybody ever had the opportunity to come back and do these tricks, I think it was just shortly after that skate factory closed permanently. What a legend, though. He's got all the tricks. Did it. Chris Haffey, he was here. And autograph that last one. Beat that. By the way, why does Europe get all the best skate parks? Like having something like this? Yeah, it's time for a recap. Let's take a look at the tricks he landed. He got that 270 back torque, and that one to me would be harder than this one. Just holding that torque in there. Insane. By the way, we get a second angle of this one, and just the revert out, the rewind, so perfect. Here's an interesting consideration. I know Haffey is left foot dominant, so to see him do that full true fish, right-footed, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but you know what? There's a lot that's happening in this video. That doesn't make much sense to me. The fakie 450 into the back royale, the 540 rewind out. He's amazing. He murdered it. All right, before we wrap up, I found this video that was recommended to me about Chris Haffey and the greatest rollerblading trick of all time, the fakie 720 kindgrind. And if you're like me, you're thinking back to the one that's popular, the like disaster one at Skate Barn, but it's not actually that trick. It's an entirely new piece of footage that I had never seen, and so I thought I'd share that with you because this is pretty well made. This was made by Mike McFly, and it's a good argument. He makes some good reasons why this could be the greatest skate trick in the history of rollerblading.
Is Chris Haffey the greatest skater of all time? I think he is. Personally, my favorite skater is Aaron Feinberg, but Chris Haffey will no doubt go down as the greatest of all time. The greatest trick of all time, a lot of people say, is his fakie 720 kindgrind. He landed one in 2004, January 2004, at the Barn Burner at Skate Barn West. Now, when you watch the clip coming up here in a second, it's real blurry, and the trick itself is real sketchy. It looks almost like I could do it on my best day ever. Okay, so everyone talks about this fakie 7 kindgrind he did. The rail isn't much to speak of. It's at a skate park. But what if I told you that the next year at the Barn Burner, Haffey did a much better fakie 720 kindgrind?
All right, one piece that I would disagree with there is I don't think I would describe that rail as not much to speak of. That was a massive disaster, and this is the type of rail that I think is the most dangerous. Yeah, it's kind of a low rail. It's really short in terms of the down part of it, so if you miss your skates, if you clip your legs, you're going for a ride, and he was coming in with a ton of speed. So I don't want to take anything away from that. That clip is legendary. It's iconic in rollerblading. It may be one of the best clips ever, park skating or street skating. It's massive. But he's about to show us the next one, and this next fakie 720 kindgrind is even more mind-boggling than the first one. And this is a clip that I had never seen until this video was recommended to me. It's pretty wild. Let's take a look.
No blue, no brakes, no bulldog brakes. Just push on up out of the crate, man. Something cool.
He locked that so perfectly.
Okay, if you watch this in super slow-mo, you see Haffey actually jump off of flat ground onto a full-size handrail. Now, it is located at a skate park, but the obstacle itself is exactly like a real handrail.
Yeah, look how tall that is.
He throws a full fakie 7. He lands the kindgrind, balances it out,
comes
and
out
finishes
forward
the long rail.
Perfectly.
That's why I call this the greatest trick of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a reasonable argument. Not only was that locked in perfectly with a perfect dismount on it, but that rail was no laughing matter. Like, that was a pretty high rail. Maybe it was a little less scary than a street rail, maybe a little bit lower. But honestly, like, that was waist high. And personally, I've always felt that those types of rails that have the downslope rather than the stairs are actually scarier. They're more dangerous than skating a stair rail because you get sucked underneath and it just like keeps your forward momentum until you run into the uprights of the rail itself. And so I got to give Chris Haffey props to that. I don't know how this clip isn't more viral. Maybe everybody has seen this already, but this was news to me. I wasn't familiar with this one. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Mike McFly, shout out to you. I'll leave a link to your original video here. I think you're making a very valid argument on what could be one of the best rollerblading tricks in inline skating history. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. We don't usually do these follow-up videos on a skater that was just featured, but as I was saying when I was watching Chris Haffey, I couldn't help but be moved and remember this video that I saw, and I was able to track it down, fortunately, and you know, it's old enough, it's legendary enough, it has a mythical status that it was something that I felt like could be well shared within the community. Maybe other people out there have seen it before, but maybe some of you haven't. Anyway, Chris Haffey, he's a national treasure. He really is the epitome of what rollerblading is all about. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Until next time, remember to stay safe, stay healthy, and get out there and do some rollerblading. I'm Butch Lehman of Roll, Minnesota, and we'll see you with the next episode. Peace, everybody.